What's up, YouTube? Today we're talking about The Legend of the Northern Blade. And honestly, this is one of those manhwas that constantly kept me excited for what was coming next. Every fight feels earned, every step forward feels meaningful, and by the time the major moments finally happen, everything feels paid off and incredible. There's just this feeling of pure excitement when reading The Legend of the Northern Blade. Watching the characters slowly take more and more steps towards their goals, making every victory feel satisfying. And because the story takes its time building towards those moments, every major fight feels important. And a huge reason why all of this works so well is Jin Mu-Won himself. He's a much more level-headed character compared to a lot of revenge-focused protagonists. While carrying the legacy left behind by his father after the betrayal, he's also seeking revenge and trying to tear down the hierarchy this world is built on. And because of that, every step forward of his journeys feels meaningful. The story takes its time building him up, which makes those moments where he fully lets loose feel even more satisfying. And what makes those moments hit even harder is that the villains don't just feel strong, they feel smart. These are people who stayed on top of the world for years, and the story really makes you feel why. And it's not just the characters that make the story feel so great. The art during the fights only make it even better. Every clash feels impactful, fast, and brutal in a way that's hard to describe until you actually read it. And the pacing of it all is honestly great. The story never leaves you feeling like, wow, we're still stuck on this? But it's also not moving so fast that it skips over important details or leave you confused about what's happening in between. Everything feels like it's building towards something, and the art honestly elevates everything even more. The fights don't just look cool, they feel impactful. Every slash, every movement, and every clash has weight behind it. That makes every fight feel so satisfying to read. But honestly, some of my favorite panels in the series aren't even in the fights. The landscape, the atmosphere, the quieter moments. Everything feels incredibly detailed and intentional. There are panels that genuinely feel cold, lonely, and tense without even needing dialogue. And sometimes the art is so good you genuinely stop scrolling for a second and just appreciate it. It really feels like every part of the art is handled with care, even the smaller details. And honestly, that's not always a given with manhwas. The Legend of the Northern Blade is one of those series that constantly remind me of why I love reading manhwas in the first place. Its atmosphere, emotion, brutal, and incredibly satisfying to watch unfold. And if you still haven't checked it out, I genuinely think it's worth your time, as this quickly became one of my favorite manhwas while I was reading it, and it's still up there even after the ending, because the ending doesn't just feel rushed or leaves you unsatisfied. I think it's a great read, especially if you love the action side, but the stories also give it great depth and makes it more than just action. If you never heard of it or read it, I definitely think you should add this to your list.